No, cameras are one of my favorite subjects.
Oh.
I love camera.
Is that because you break so many?
No. Now, there's a lot of choices when it comes to Canon. Excuse me, I was starting to say Canon.
Oh, I know. It's just because they gave us this nice hat.
Isn't this a great hat? I love to shoot in this hat. Okay, so there's lots of great choices for cameras. Canon's one of them. Nikon?
Nikon. There's actually...
Olympus?
Oh, Olympic. Yeah, the Oli is a good camera.
Sony.
Sony is a good camera.
Kodak?
Kodak. I mean, there's a lot of good little brands out there. You know, depends upon what you actually want, what the brand is you're going to use.
Well, that's for certain. Because part of it is before you decide, a lot of times what you have to decide is how you're going to use the camera. Because...
Well, yeah, that would depend, yeah, like do you need, are you going to take something that's going to really need a 12 megabyte picture, or you are going to do something like sending emails that only need like 600,000 bytes? There's got to be, if you're doing something just to send family members by email, you don't need a picture that you're going to have to reduce down, because in that you're going to have to get, you need a program like Easy Thumbnails to reduce your picture down in size.
Oh, that for certain you would need.
That's right.
That's for certain. So part of it is, are you taking pictures of kids, sports, things that move really, really fast? Or are you taking landscapes?
That's right. And also, you know,
flowers,
and what you're going to present the pictures on, because we ran into that problem this morning, didn't we? About she's got a really big screen to look at pictures on. A
wide screen?
She expanded the picture to fit the screen, and it got fuzzy.
Well, which kind of distorts the picture.
That's right. So if you want to watch, where you're going to watch the picture is small, you really don't need a big picture.
Well, the other point about that is, it depends on how savvy you are and what you want to do with the pictures. If you want to do manipulation with the photos,
then you need all the information you can get.
Which also means you probably need a large computer to process it.
Fast.
Yep. But if all you want to do is something simple, like my mother, all she wants is a simple, what they call point and shoot.
Yeah, point and shoot. Point and shoot is something you can pick up at almost, you can pick them up like at Walgreens, a point and shoot.
Yeah. Now, by the point and shoot, actually the name is pretty specific on it, because basically all you do is point and shoot.
It's got a preset focus on everything. Everything is preset. It's got a little flash in it. You know, you can maybe very little zoom in, zoom out. But it's basically, it's supposed to be screw-up proof, but then of course we know somebody that got red eyes.
Well, they do have a red eye focus on it. Now this one right here, this one's by Nikon. Do you want to be Nikon or Canon? We'll show both. Both of them.
We actually own Canon.
Oh, yeah. But they're both very good cameras.
No, but you should, talk about Nikon, because we have Canons. So.
The Nikon here, this is an ultra slim one, and they also have compact ones. Basically, the ultra slim are smaller. You probably, like the cameras that go into your pocket. And where are you going? The ones that go into your pocket. Those I would call the ultra slim ones. The compact ones are just the regular small ones that you're not paying a premium for. And then there's of course advanced point and shoots. The advanced point and shoots do more. They're a little bit bigger, and boy, digital cameras, you can do so much with them right now. One of the first things that you're going to look at, now these are just your regular point and shoots that we're talking about. We're not talking about the digital SLRs, which we will get to in a minute. But on the camera, first of all, you're doing it to match your needs, like we talked about, whether you're shooting for landscaping, action shots, macros, like flowers. I mean, you want it to fit your needs. Whether you're shooting in the dark, right?
You could be shooting in the dark and not actually be shooting in the dark. For instance, the high-def camera takes an awful lot of light.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the things you always have to be aware of.
Yeah, if you don't have a lot of light, you are really in trouble with a high-def camera. And getting a good flash gun for a high-def camera costs you as much as a camera in some cases.
Mm-hmm. And then also the zoom, because there's an optical versus digital zoom.
That's right. And optical zoom, you can go up, like we have a camera that can go from 10 to 400 on optical.
And optical is always better, because when you do a digital zoom,
Basically, a digital zoom Well, in my case, I prefer digital versus optical, but I'm old world. I also prefer standard lenses versus zoom lenses. A digital zoom will give you a better picture in the foreground or the background than an optical zoom will. Because if you use an optical zoom, it will out of focus you. If you focus foreground, it's going to out of focus background. If you focus background, it's going to out of focus foreground. That's the difference.
That's depth of field, isn't that?
That's right, it's a depth of field problem. Most people don't realize it. An example of that problem is Indy 4.
Indy 4?
Indy
Indiana Jones?
That's right, where they used the zoom lenses. In some pictures, the foreground is really bright focus, background is out of focus. They focused on the background, the foreground became out of focus. That's why you would prefer probably a digital or a multi-lens situation rather than an optical zoom.
Other thing they also have are those LCD screens on the back of the camera. Some of them are smaller, some of them are larger.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay, what's it? The new Canon has a 3-inch. That's the Nikon. But okay, what they do, they give you a larger screen at the loss of toys to play with on your camera.
Loss of toys. Oh.
That's right.
You heard that one. It also costs you a little bit more. On those screens, some of them are just flat on the camera. Some of them you're able to tilt and turn and twist and do all sorts of things. So play with the cameras and see what you think about it. They also use different types of memory cards. You're going, what in the world is a memory card? It's how you store the pictures, whether some of them are on SD or compact flash or memory sticks.
And what is it that Sony is coming out that's going to revolutionize the whole business?
Well, that's not good at consumers, is it?
That it's a consumer toy.
So what is that card called
It's
again?
called the Express card. That is why they have all these little Express card slots on your computers now. Because Sony is planning to come out with, basically you don't put the flash card or the compact card or the SD card into your cameras anymore. You stick an Express card in, maybe was it 250 gigabytes that you can go up to on the thing.
250 gigabytes?
Yep, that's what they're headed for.
Ooh, that's a big camera. That'd probably be the prosumer range, right?
That's right, but they still intend to come up, start with enough that a person can shoot, I don't know, 10,000 pictures or something on an Express card.
Well, that would be good.
That's
In fact,
right.
if you went to your kid's sporting event, you'd be able to get lots of footage on that.
That's right, and it will plug directly into the ports of virtually any computer that currently exists today, unlike computers where they have, one little slot where you can put in a memory stick Pro Dual. I've got, okay,
Or an SD card.
Yes, sure. I've got a card, we got a PC with 15 different ones, but most computers don't come with those.
That's right, so you might need a converter to use your different memory sticks or memory cards. In fact, that may be a reason why you choose one versus another, because if you currently have some compact flash from your existing camera.
That you don't want to have to make an investment to get new.
Yeah.
And another tip, folks, that anything you shoot on your compact or your, any Pro Duo, any card you have, it's there unless it's completely removed, because all it does is condense it down into a smaller space. And as you're losing capabilities to put, say like you put 1,000 pictures on the card before, you can only get 900 now. That's because you haven't really lost the pictures. They're sitting there in a smaller little area. But, for instance, my computer has 19 gigabytes of condensed pictures on it.
So remember what we just said there? Because before you give your used compact flash
To somebody.
to somebody else, like
Yeah,
could be a relative,
you don't
you're
want
trying to recirculate because you want to be green and don't want to throw it away.
And you don't want those pictures that you don't want other people to see getting into somebody that actually has a means of restoring all the pictures on your disk. And they do sell that at almost any you can pick them up at Fry's, you can pick them up at any, Circuit City, Best Buy, that they can sit there and recover.
Ooh.
And they can't recover everything, because the neat thing to remember is it will write over the same, if you have, say, a picture that says 100 on it, and you take another picture that says 100, it writes over it.
Ah.
But that may not be the 100 you want removed.
So you got to pay.